I smell that. It smell like something savory, something 4-star quality, nice and exquisite. Oh, smelling very southernly, like from the state of Florida. Some teams cooking down there. I'm talking about roasted over the fire, getting turned over the campfire, boy. We're gonna talk about that. We got a lot to talk about as CFB with Ziggy is here to recap week 1. It's about that time. I'm a little late, but it's okay. I'm just, like I'm saying, running through my go through. And there's a lot to talk about too. You already know. Y'all probably done checked some other people out, but it's time to check out your new favorite college football show. Let's get straight to it. I gotta start it off with Georgia trouncing Clemson 34-3. Can't lie though, started out close in the first half. Very defensive game. Really both teams filling each other out, but the filling out process is more so on the Georgia side than the Clemson side. Went into halftime, Georgia made adjustments, Clemson couldn't do nothing. Second half, over with. And that's a sign that Georgia is back. They are here. They are national title contenders. #1 in the nation for a reason. Playing with a chip on their shoulder. This was a good first game to come out and play. It was supposed to be a good opponent, so we came with our minds right. Got a little bit of energy. Kirby got them boys ready. Everything I thought. Clemson defense was good. Offense was definitely suspect though. Like, second year under Garrett Riley, you would have thought some adjustments would have been made. A lot of criticism thrown Dabo Swinney's way about not going into the portal. I expect him to come out on fire. Don't nothing look different, bro, at all. Georgia running backs, Trevor Etienne didn't play, no problem. Did not matter. Ran for 169 rush yards, whereas the defense held Clemson to 46 rush yards. When Georgia has those type of ratios in the rushing department, that's almost a guaranteed dub every time. Every time. How about that boy Nate Frazier, freshman, 11 carries, 83 yards and a touchdown. Really, he could have had way more than that. RBU is back, boy. Y'all know that right now. Check out Nate Frazier. Carson Beck did his thing. 23 of 33, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. Efficient. Best quarterback in the nation right now. Looking to be possibly the first QB taken in the draft. And he spread the wealth. And see, this is what Georgia's known for. They don't stick to a couple receivers who get 1,000 yards in the season. They spread it out. That's how the Georgia offense is working. We got 9 players catching passes. Transfers were the ones catching the touchdowns. Kobe Young and London Humphreys. And that's a prime example in Dabo Swinney's face of the importance of using that portal. Shows you right there. Held Clemson to 188 yards. The Georgia defense is legit again. Gotta love to see it. It was good to see Arian Smith in the receiving department getting back to it. He was definitely a player I was looking forward to. Got 5 catches for 56 yards. This was a statement win. And it's only up from here. Georgia does have a difficult schedule, but there isn't much that's going to hold us back other than ourselves, to be honest. Dabo Swinney's decision-making when it comes to the portal is a glaring problem. And it's not looking good for Clemson. They ain't looking no good from last year or the year before that. And offensively, is Garrett Riley even the answer? I mean, who knows? There's no telling. Cade Klubnik, he's not really looking like the 5-star quality that he was known for in high school. And I think it's safe to say that the old Clemson that we're used to go back and forth with Alabama, compete for national championships in the playoff every single year. No more. It's over with. Them days is done. So what's next for the Dogs and the Tigers? Georgia has a minor opponent in Tennessee Tech. Clemson has Appalachian State. For the old Clemson, that might have been an instant victory, but there's no telling because App State has a good team. So there's no telling what they're going to do this year. And that's just week 2. Clemson's schedule, playing the way they are, is not looking too good right now. Next game on the docket, we got to talk about that Miami versus Florida, boy. Woo. Little did we know, outside of both programs, how they were going to come out. And it was exciting to see that the Canes might be back. Might be. I'm only saying that because it's game one, but they looked great. They drowned the Gators in the swamp, in their crib, bruh. 41-17. Miami finally looks elite. This is what Miami fans been praying for, wishing. And they finally got it. And it's starting to look like Mario Cristobal's identity on this team has been solidified. This is his third year. It's all his guys as far as players he's recruited. He's got his coaching staff running. And now they got a quarterback. That boy Cam Ward, transferred from Washington State. His calmness and his demeanor was just A1. I'm talking about very similar to Carson Beck, like even killed, nothing can get to him. That boy went off. 26 for 35, 385 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Miami fans, I know y'all feeling good about that, boy. Boy was going crazy, tearing that Florida defense up. Love to see Florida get whooped. He's instantly a Heisman contender. I gotta say top 2. He's top 2 off rip. For me, at least top 3. Completely unfazed. And I mean, at this point, and not just being game one, the sky's the limit. Miami off rip looks like the best team in the ACC after one game. That's crazy. That's a lot to say about Miami, but also a lot to say about it's some teams in the ACC that didn't come out looking as good as they were supposed to. But like I said, it's good to see Mario Cristobal's imprint is cemented on this team. And it's good to see a former blue blood coming back and being relevant again on a national scale. This is a beautiful thing to see. This is what true college football fans always wanted, to see Miami be good, finally. Defense was good too. They held Florida to 261 yards and forced 2 turnovers. It wasn't nothing Florida could do with that at all. Oh man. Jaden Harris and Francisco Mauigoa making plays. They was making plays everywhere, all over that field. Defense was tenacious. On the other hand, Florida is cooked as well, just like their rivals, Florida State. And we're going to talk about them too. All the good faith in Billy Napier is gone. It's over with, bro. Year 3, ain't no way. It ain't even about wins or losses, but you don't get thraxed in your crib against your rival. They mocking you doing a Gator chomp in your face. Yeah. So I'm going to say Billy Napier will be up out of there by game 5. I'll give him 5 games. Wouldn't be surprised if he left earlier than that. So pretty soon the Florida job going to be open. Who going to want to take it? Who's qualified to take it? Florida fans, who do y'all want? I know y'all sick. Sucks to be y'all. And it's only going to get tough from here. Literally the hardest schedule in the nation. And you just lost game 1 in that fashion. I mean, at this point, who's to say that y'all will win a game? Maybe next week against Sanford? I don't know. So where does both teams go from here? Like I said, the sky is the limit for Miami. I think their toughest game coming up on their schedule, that's a toss-up. Florida State, know about that one. Clemson, But it's only week 1. But after 1 week, Miami's looking good. Florida fans are praying for just a glimmer of hope. Sad. Miami's next game is against FAMU. Florida is against Sanford. Let's see where both teams go in the coming weeks. Next game up, we got Notre Dame beating Texas A&M in Kyle Field. Score was 23-13. Both teams, it was a defensive battle. Both defenses did very well. Offenses, not so much. The interesting matchup was definitely Riley Leonard versus Mike Elko, two former Duke QB slash coach. He used to be on the same team at Duke. Now Riley transferred over to Notre Dame, and Elko's the head coach at Texas A&M. So it was interesting to see who had the upper hand in that, who knew who better. But it didn't seem like too much was revealed. Neither QB really had a good game. And I think the rushing was really the difference. Notre Dame had 198 rushing yards to A&M's 146. Then A&M scored, Notre Dame scored their rushing touchdown late to pull away and create that 10-point lead. Texas A&M definitely has a lot of work to do. But this is Mike Elko's first year. And it's going to be a work in progress. But he has a good team. And we just got to wait to see how do they bounce back and learn from this loss. And as we know, this is the season where one loss doesn't take you out of the playoff. You're still in it. But you're on notice. You better step it up for the rest of the season. Notre Dame definitely handled that crowd. And Kyle Field and that 12th man is known for being one of the loudest in the nation. Notre Dame wasn't too much fazed by it, especially not defensively. Did their thing. And now that Notre Dame has this win, the rest of their schedule looks way more favorable because Florida State doesn't look as good as we thought going into the season. Maybe USC, who we could be getting ready to talk to in just a few seconds. So a lot of people want to say pencil Notre Dame into the playoff already after week 1. We're going to see. I love to see it. It's just good to see teams that used to be good back in the day, now they're good again. Like we just said about Miami, the same thing with Notre Dame. That defense is looking raw. Gotta love it. Next game up. I'm going straight to that LSU USC out there in Vegas. Trojans beat the Tigers 27-20. What a game. Instant classic. Cinema. Absolute cinema. Both defenses finally approved. Let's clap it up for these defenses, man. That's all we wanted. For y'all to play some type of defense, especially USC. Oh my Lord, you got one of the best offensive minds in Lincoln Riley. With no defense in sight. And now bringing in that new defensive coordinator from UCLA. He's making instant progress. It was just a beautiful thing to see. LSU's defense as well. Great to see. Both quarterbacks balled out, did their thing. USC's Miller Moss, 27 of 36, 378 yards and a touchdown. Garrett Nussmeier for LSU, 30 of 39, 308, 2 TDs and an interception. Both quarterbacks stood up in the moment and did their thing. And it was great to see. Making adjustments, moving with what the coaches wanted them to do. I think they're both in good positions with their QBs. And I almost want to say, I know we saw the catch of the year already. Did y'all see that catch by that boy Hudson? What a joke, was crazy. I was watching that thing live. You best believe I paused it and rewound it, rewatched that thing about 10 times. Leaning back, one hand in a double team. The LSU defenders were in good position, but it's just like, ooh, it just looked bad, the fact that he caught it. Oh my God. That was sick, boy. You filthy for that one. Now, there were a couple of undisciplined moments by LSU that caused some penalties and key moments that may have put them in position to let this game slip away. And both being unsportsmanlike, and it definitely drove Brian Kelly crazy. I don't know if y'all seen, but he was upset in that press conference, slamming his fist on that table. Man, he's just upset that, his players have put in a lot of work and were very apologetic, and to him, it just sucked that they didn't get the result that they wanted. He knows the work that they put in. He knows their heart and where their intentions are. So, LSU fans, do not be upset just because this is your the third opening loss of the season, third in a row. That don't mean nothing, because what I saw with my eyes LSU's looking a lot better. This team's making mass progress. Knock on the wood, Laura Willing, everyone stays healthy. They're in good hands. USC too. USC is now a contender, just joining the Big Ten. They already a Big Ten contender after that. Until they show me otherwise. Look, innocent until proven guilty. They did their thing. And so I'm interested in seeing where both teams go from here. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm really proud of both teams for sure, especially them defenses, like I said. So we're gonna see. Shout out to the Trojans getting the dub. LSU, it's not over. You can bounce back. Man, we got a lot to talk about. And this is week 1. Penn State beats West Virginia 34-12. A lot of talk has happened this offseason about Penn State. This had to be the year. With the implementation of the new 12-team playoff, where 2 losses you can still get in. Penn State has notoriously been known for being a 2-loss team, for being able to beat every other team outside of Ohio State and Michigan. Well, now you came out the gates, you looked awesome against West Virginia. Drew Aller did his thing, 11-17, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. Defense looked the part, led by Kevin Winston Jr., Jalen Reed, and tackles. Yeah, they ready. Nick Singleton did his thing, over 100 yards rushing. Penn State fans, y'all got a lot to look forward to. This could be our year. It's gonna be a pretty tough schedule. You do have Ohio State, and you do have USC. So as long as y'all bring it and be more consistent, ain't no telling. But this is definitely their year to make the playoff and make some noise. They have to. That's my personal ultimatum on Penn State. Y'all gotta make the playoff, bro. Ain't no way y'all don't. Especially the way y'all looked in that game. But you still do need to beat one of them big 3. And see, now it's automatically a big 3. See, y'all were part of the 3. And y'all might have taken a back seat to Oregon, maybe. We gotta talk about what Oregon did, though. But you gotta beat one of those. Ohio State, USC. I'm gonna throw USC in the mix. Michigan, Oregon. Out of those 4 teams, whoever's on your schedule, you gotta beat at least one. So let's see what they do. And then, of course, we had a lot of big teams playing inferior opponents. We're just gonna run over them real quick. Just like Bama ran over West Kentucky, 63-0. Easy work. That was a good win for Kalen DeBoer in the DeBoer era. First game out the gates, especially defensively. They lost a lot of players. Caleb Downs transferred to Ohio State. It didn't matter. They did their thing. I forgot his name. That boy that had 2 interceptions. Oh, man. Instant replacement for Caleb Downs. Instant. Jalen Miro didn't do too much, but did just enough in the time that he was in the game. 7 for 9, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Freshman receiver Ryan Williams. My. How the hell you get 2 catches, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, bro? How? This man is cold. That was wild. Especially that second catch, had the defenders running into each other, and he still scored a touchdown. Oh, my Lord. Bama fans, look, y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. DeBoer got y'all in a great position post Nick Saban. So we're gonna see what it do. You got a schedule on you though. You got the Dawgs around the corner, bro. I can't wait for that game. Ooh, I'm so ready. But let's see what Bama does from here. Ohio State, they smashed their team, Akron, 52-6. Transfer Will Howard, how did he do in his first start? A lot of people was wondering how he was gonna do. Went 17 for 28, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's decent, not bad. Another freshman receiver going off. That boy Jeremiah Smith. 6 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looked like he was born to play receiver at Ohio State. It don't look no different from none of the greats in the past. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Victor, Devin Smith. I'm going back on y'all boys. Damn, who just came out of there, bro? Garrett Wilson. There we go. Hey, Y'all got another one. DJ Khaled, boys. So he's definitely going to do the work this year. Ohio State ended up with 170 rush yards. Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson are going to be a problem, just like we thought. Two-headed monster. So their offense as a whole is sick. But defensively, they are solid, boy. I think every defender got a tackle in that game that lined up when they were playing defense. Tui Maloa. The boys cold. Looking like Big Ten winners getting that one of those automatic bids into the playoff. Could this be their year to win it all? We're going to see. Texas comes out and shuts out Colorado State 52-0. Quinn Ewers did look good. 20 of 27, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And this is what we want to see from him. We don't want to see any more of the inconsistencies. We want to see him reach a high level and stay there, maintain it. Can he do it? I believe he can. Because he does have a quarterback nipping at his heels. And boy, did y'all Texas fans go crazy when that boy Arch Manning got into the game. Y'all was hyped. I thought that was probably the loudest the crowd was the entire game. Boy go 5 for 6, 95 yards and a touchdown. I'm not gonna lie, mechanically, the way Arch looks coming out of Louisiana, he moves a lot like Joe Burrow to me. Scrambling out of the pocket, throwing unconventionally, his throwing motion, very Burrow-esque, if I do say so myself. So, but they did what they're supposed to. Rushing yards was spread out pretty evenly, you know. Jared Gibson, Jaden Blue and company. More than likely because of the injury to C.J. Baxter, and we definitely wish C.J. Baxter a speedy recovery. Hate to see it. Ole Miss demolishes Furman 76-0. Hey, you do what you're supposed to with the opponents you got. But Ole Miss did look sick. Jackson Dart, 22 of 27, 418 yards, 5 touchdowns. Pad the stats up. Trey Harris, 8 catches for 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Look like one of the best receivers in the nation. It's a lot of receivers going off already. Rushing did their thing, defense did their thing, all around. Let's see what they do next week. Tennessee trounces Chattanooga 69-3, same thing. This is the first regular season start for Nico Iamaleava. I think I said that correctly. He did his thing. Dylan Sampson rushing, Dante Thornton receiving, respectively, each going over 100 yards and at least a couple touchdowns. You do what you're supposed to against the opponents that you have, so. But we're going to really see what they're made of, possibly this coming up week, as they play NC State up there in Charlotte, which is essentially a home game for the Wolfpack. So it's going to get a lot tougher. Let's see what they do. Now, teams that didn't come out look so well were named Michigan and Oregon. And I mean, does Michigan have a QB problem? I'm not sure. Who should be their starter? Davis Warren? Alex Orji? I mean, I heard a lot in the offseason about Alex Orji, but now I'm seeing that he's definitely more so a runner than a passer, so it seems. I guess that makes Warren the starter since he's a better passer so far, but he didn't look too hot. And they barely beat Fresno State. 30-10 looks okay, but they pulled away late. And that's not what I expected from the reigning national champions. And the bigger part of that is they got Texas coming in there this coming Saturday. And that's the biggest game this Saturday. Big noon kickoff on Fox. Looking forward to hearing Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson on that tape too, commentating. But Michigan, y'all better get right. Because Texas is going to bring it, even though they're on the road. So y'all fans better get loud. Because you're not going to beat Texas playing like that. I will say, though, Colston Loveland did his thing. He's definitely one of the best tight ends in the nation. So we just need a little more consistency around him. Oregon, on the other hand, Dylan Gabriel threw the ball damn near 50 times, but it was a whole lot of dinking and dunking. Had a touchdown or two, but to only beat your team, Idaho, by 10 points, 24-14, that's not gonna cut it. Especially with y'all first year in the Big Ten, it just got a lot tougher for y'all from where y'all came. Y'all gonna have to step it up. Oregon's been looked at as one of the teams to possibly win the Big Ten, get an automatic bid in the playoff, a national title contender. Not playing like that. That ain't gonna do it. Let's see if they bounce back. And you already know we gotta talk about it. To be honest, I did get my fill on from that meal that Florida State was served over, you know, a little gravy, a little rosemary on that guy. Florida State is cooked, y'all. And it's really sad to see. But there's really no excuse for it whatsoever. They lose to Boston College in Doak Campbell, 28-13. They're filleted. DJU is out there looking lost. There's nothing five-star about him at all. At least not in his demeanor. There's no leadership. There's nobody stepping up and trying to get them boys fired up. And it really starts with the head coach. Mike Norvell looking more lost than DJU. And it's crazy to hear what you hear in off-season and fall camp. For them to come out like this, this is a team who felt disrespected going undefeated last year and not making the playoff. Then you follow that up, half your team didn't even show up in the Orange Bowl against them Dawgs, and you got destroyed. So you would think out of any team, Georgia came in with a chip on their shoulder, but their chip is not as big as Florida State's. I expected them to come out and go crazy, and you lose your first two games? Where they do that at? That's disappointing, boy. Yeah, so you can cancel ACC and playoff for me. Florida State is not it. Soul searching is a word I heard, and it definitely fits. They need that. They got to get their mind right, boy. Because their identity is gone. Could it be a detriment to how much they use the transfer portal? There's no telling. And it's crazy. On one hand, with teams like Clemson who don't use it, they're getting punished. But it seems like Florida State is almost getting punished for quote-unquote overusing the portal. I don't know. But they better fix it ASAP. Them in Florida. I see no wins in their future playing the way they are currently. And to be honest, I don't think DJU is it at quarterback until he shows me otherwise. Which is a long cry from the first start I ever saw him in at Clemson when he came in for, I think it was Trevor Lawrence got injured or suspended, and he had Clemson had to go up to Notre Dame. That's the best I ever seen DJU. That boy went off. Look at him now. All the memes going crazy. What you gonna do? You gonna use it and let that tear you down even more? Or are you gonna use that as fuel to build yourself up from the core? Figure out who you are as a man on that field, in the locker room, in the weight room, in the film room, training sessions, all that. I think you got it in you, but Florida State fans don't care what they think. They care what they see on that field. And I feel bad for the Florida State fans. Just go ahead and start praying for next year, to be honest. Because they are filleted, sauteed, flambéed. Got me get my Food Network on. So that's going to cover majority of the games of week 1 that I felt like covering. If I didn't talk about your team, hey, it's a lot of teams, y'all. Let me know in the comments. If you want me to talk about your team, I'll talk about it. I told you, this is the people show. I do it for y'all. This is us. Let me know what y'all think about this week 1 recap. Pretty soon we're going to have a video talking about that week 2. For sure. Got some good games coming up. And we're going to bring it to you. We're going to break it down. We're going to give you them predictions. And we're going to give you that recap once week 2 is done. It's a lot more action coming now. So y'all get ready. Stay tuned. See you, busy Ziggy. Ain't going nowhere. Yeah.